Do you need to record? Okay, so again, why it's ironic? Because like the title indicate that after 20 years they still remember each other, they were sincere to each other, they were loyal, and like they were loyal still. But still, like if they were really good friends, why didn't he recognize his friend's face? Like he did meet his friend and he did talk to him. So like if they were really really real friends, like he should have like recognized his friend's face.
He should know his friend's face.
Yeah, this is the first point. The second point, like all the time they were friends. So after 20 years they were enemies or friends?
They were enemies.
And
Enemies. Do you remember last story?
Yeah, heart and
Yeah,
head.
so what's the difference? This is a contrast, contrast. What's contrast here? Like in the last story, hearts and hands, we had two men handcuffed to each other, right? To each other, they were handcuffed. The appearance indicate that they were enemies. The last line in the story tells us that they were closer to be friends. Here we have the contrast, like I mean like the sheer contrast. Two men, like seeming to be real close best friends, and reality discovers that now they're enemies. Yeah, they didn't mean that, but at the end, one of them is a policeman and the other one is criminal, and one of them was the reason the other one was arrested. So this is why it's ironic. Why? Because like here they changed. Like it gives like here different meaning. Yeah, yeah. The literal meaning. Oh, after 20 years, we still remember. You still remember me. You come to meet me. This is like literal meaning. But like figurative meaning, like 20 years, it changed both of them. Both of them changed, or let's say at least Bob, he turned into a criminal. Okay, so now, and even like the other one, it changed. Like here we have this one, we spoke about the twisting end. Now let's speak about the themes, and now it's your time to speak. Okay, here we have different themes. Let's start with friendship and duty. What would you do if you were Jimmy? Who would like to answer this question?
I would
Yes, okay, honey. Mustafa, just admit.
I would I would talk to him and advise him to stop, and then um and he of course he will promise me to stop, and then I will let him go.
Teacher, did you start now?
Oops, oh my goodness. Yes. We started like I think 5 minutes ago, I think. So yes, Mariam, you think that if you were him, you would let him go?
Yeah, I would first ask him to stop, and of course that my friend that Bob will promise me that he will stop, then I'll let him go.
Like this is like what happens in the movie. I tried to arrest him, but he left. Like no, he doesn't have to do that. If you mean like I asked him to stop and then I let him go, like the police were not watching him. Like that Jimmy had it was the only one who recognized him. Like if he didn't like to even to arrest him, he wouldn't. Nobody else would arrest him. Would have arrested him. The other one, I mean. I mean, like it is not like in a movie, like policemen were waiting for him and so on. No, it was only two of them only. Other few people like were hurrying home. So it means that he took the decision to arrest him. He didn't think twice. You see?
Yeah.
But like this is like a very nice, like somehow feminine point of view. She's my best friend, so I would never arrest her. Okay. So in that case, Mariam, do you think that you would respect that person? I mean, the policeman who didn't care about his duty and he put his friendship, like before his duty. Would you respect that person? And remember, he was not working as a teacher or as an engineer. He was working as a police and the policeman. And the policeman's officer is to arrest criminals. You see? So, what do you think of that man then? Like, I mean, if he begged his friend and he forgot about his duty, would you think this person is a good policeman or a bad policeman?
He is a good policeman.
Yeah. So, in that, so the
Also, he's his also Bob is his friend, but he should do his job.
is should do a job. Yeah. So here we have the first theme: friendship versus duty. Which one is stronger? In that case, duty. Like duty. Like even like now, imagine that you have your best friend now. Put yourself in this situation. You imagine that you have your best friend ever. Okay, and you kept friends. Maybe you were like brothers. You were like brothers, and you grow up together. And then your friend left you, and he traveled to a different place. And then he turned into a criminal. And then you become a policeman. You saw your friend, you became a policeman, and you saw your friend. Would you as a person expect yourself to arrest your best friend, the one that you grew up with, because
Yes.
of your duty? Yes.
I think
Yes, of
Okay.
course, or I will go to prison with him.
I will go to
I will
the.
go to the.
You would like to be a criminal in order to, like, to stay with your friend, but after arresting him? Okay, this is like
No,
oversimplistic,
I
but okay.
didn't mean like this. If I don't arrest him, I will be punished by the government.
No, no, no. Look, like nobody knew him except Jimmy. You see, like he was the one who saw him, and he asked someone else to go and arrest him. But like, imagine he could have said that I didn't recognize him.
But
He
teacher,
said,
he's the
but
most
he said
wanted.
that he
He's
was
the,
wanted in Chicago.
he's the
Yeah,
most
yeah, he
wanted
was
man
wanted. Yeah, it's
in
true. He was
2000.
wanted. Listen, he was wanted, but it was dark, and a few people were working, like were waiting there when Harry walking in the street. So it seems that he didn't have a chance to get to be arrested. To be arrested, the only chance that he was arrested for was because of his friend. His friend, like let's say that he was a rat. You know, a rat. His friend was a rat. He's the one who arrested. Like he's the one who asked the police to arrest him.
Yeah.
Like he betrayed him. To tell you the truth, he betrayed him. But it is not. It's some kind of good betrayal because he didn't. It's his job. Like this man was criminal. He made a lot of money via illegal means, right? Okay, this is the first theme: friendship and duty. So they were friends true. Like if they weren't real friends, they wouldn't have come at that time or after that time to meet each other. But still, at the end, it covers that they turned into enemies, not friends. Okay, the second theme, how time changes people. Do you think that we people keep changing?
Yes.
Yes.
How?
Even if we change
That's
by
we go
behavior,
through.
change by like voice, change by professions, change like.
Yes, you think that we change even if we're not aware of it. Okay, so now I have two raising their hands. Let's pick Muhammad and Selma. Oh, very good, Selma. Let's start with Selma now. Mariam, okay. Let's start with Selma, Mariam, Muhammad. So Selma, start, honey. Do you think that people keep changing?
Yeah, they keep changing, even in their personalities.
Yes, okay. So is it good or bad? Is it positive or negative?
Sometimes it's positive and sometimes it's negative.
So it
If someone
depends.
changes to the best, then it's positive. If they change to something or a bad character, then it's negative.
So is it easy to say, is it positive or negative change? I mean, like, is it easy to judge this kind of change?
Yes, it's negative change.
Yeah, concerning Bob, it's negative for sure because he turned into a criminal. Yeah, but in general, girls, like, not girls, all of you, do you like a change? Like here we have four. So now Muhammad Hamdi, do you like a change, Muhammad?
What teacher?
Do you like a change in general? Now we have Maryam, we have Jannah. Okay, so
Yeah, I like to change, but I like to change to the positive, like to positive, to be
to
best.
be better. Yeah, I know that. Okay, so now Maryam, what do you think, Maryam? What do you like to add?
Yeah, changing is good, some and I think sometimes changing is bad and positive. There are positive ways and negative ways for it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like, change, like, but Jenna, in general, is it good to change? Either, like, not, is it good to change or not? Like, let's say, for example, you had this habit of going to a certain restaurant for years and years, you go to the same restaurant and you don't like to change it. And one day you decided to change it. Okay, so is it good or bad?
In ways it's good, and in other ways it's
The
bad.
line
Yeah,
known as
why it
change.
could be good and why it could be bad?
It could be good because in aspects of trying new stuff and
Yes.
getting used
Assalamu
and
alaikum.
Alaykum salam wa
getting
rahmatullahi wa
used to
barakatuh.
new stuff. So
Yes,
it
excellent.
helps.
Yeah. Yeah. You can never go to the same restaurant over and over again and just you would like to explore the world. Like
أعوذ
maybe it's
بالله من
something good.
الشيطان الرجيم.
Yes.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم تر أن الله سخر لكم ما في الأرض.
Okay. Could you please
ألم تر أن
mute
الله
it?
سخر لكم ما في الأرض
المايك يا
وما
زياد،
في
المايك.
البحر بأمره.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ziad. I'm really sorry. Just continue reading, honey. Continue reading, but just unmute yourself. Mute yourself. Okay. Thank you, Ziad. So here we have this one. Crime. Like this is the second one. Like it's about to change. Time changes people. Take it. Like accept that. If your friend change, because of time, you have to accept this fact. You can never say that people never change. Like we know we keep changing now and then. The second one, the third theme, like crime doesn't pay. It means criminals have to be punished at the end. even if not in this life, in the life after. So here we have this one. Like his friend, he said that I am successful. Like the West gave me everything I asked for. And you remember, like he was wearing a large jewel on his necktie, and he was wearing a fine watch with like small jewels. And he said that I hope that my friend was successful as have, like as have successful as I was. You see this one? So he looked at him as successful, and it wasn't easy for him to consider his change as negative. He considered himself changed to be better. That's why I'm asking you. Somehow it's hard for people to decide whether this change is positive or negative. So here's the third one: crime doesn't pay. It means like criminals would be punished at the end. Criminals would be punished at the end. So even if
Even
they,
even they must even if they steal, they will be punished in the hereafter.
yeah, excellent. It's true. It is true. But like once I saw a very funny website. It is not funny, but just I thought it's funny. He said like one of the theme of this story is what criminals should not trust anyone. Do you agree? Like if you like to be a criminal, you should not trust anyone, not even your best friend. Is it
Yes,
true? Yeah, because
I
he
agree.
trusted his best friend and he traveled to a place where he could be arrested. And the one who arrested him, or the one who was the reason for which he was arrested, was his best friend. So, like, oh, Henry, you know that, oh, I told you before that oh, Henry was in prison himself. You remember that? Oh, Henry was a criminal. Like, the writer of this story was a criminal. He was
teacher Henry.
the
Miss,
writer, the
I
Really?
author.
don't know how he is a criminal and also he writes.
He wrote during like in prison he had a lot of plenty time, and he had this kind of a skill, so he used that time to write, and he was very good. Like I mean, he was a very good writer.
Teacher really O. Henry wasn't a criminal?
Yeah, he wasn't a serious criminal. Like he committed a crime, and he was taken to prison. Actually, he turned himself in. His wife was sick, so he needed to turn himself in. He turned himself in, and he went to the prison. And while he being there, he dealt with the policemen and so on. That's why, if
Mm.
remember this story and the previous story about policemen, and he tried to shed light on the fact that policemen, maybe they are not that kind of harsh as people might think, or maybe they should be kind and gentle in order to be like good people and so on. So he himself learned a lesson. He himself, it was only one his crime, and then he became, after he was released from prison, he worked as a writer. His stories were published. He made a lot of money, and he didn't
And
commit any
also,
crimes again.
in the prison, sometimes people will go to prison, they gain mahrous.
Yes, he gained a lot of skills. Yeah, do you know, like in real life, it's ironic because when someone, a criminal, goes to prison, he learns a lot of crimes, like how to commit different crimes. And some of them, very few of them, learn some kind of new skills or good skills. So now, like this one, so and like this, a funny theme, like criminals should not ever, ever trust anyone. So again, let's move on to the following
Teacher,
point.
who is Henry?
Henry, this is the author, the one who wrote this story, the one who wrote this story. And here I have this question. Like someone would like to add anything? Like here we have who raised her hand? Okay. Okay. So now Muhammad, Jana. Okay, would like to add something, Jana?
Okay.
Jana or Muhammad? Like you're raising your hands.
I'm raising my hand to answer like the coming question.
Yeah, the coming
Yes,
question.
teacher.
Mariam, you have something to add, Mariam?
Yeah, I think there is I'm sorry, 1 minute.
Yes.
I think that I have a solution for this problem.
Uh-huh.
That
You would like to
they
have a
fix,
way out. Yeah, what should we do?
yeah, they can
Mm-hmm.
fix their friendship by when Bob got to the prison,
Yes.
Jim can visit him like every time he can be allowed to visit him and fix
Mm-hmm.
the friendship.
But do you
Yes,
think it's realistic?
sometimes.
Ish?
Do you
What?
think it's do you think is it realistic? It's realistic? Is it real? Like, I will take you to the prison. You're going to the prison because of me. You're going to get rid of with this kind of rich, luxurious life because of me. And then I will come and visit you. Do you think is it real?
Bob will hit Jim.
Yes,
I think that
Yeah.
Bob will
yes,
just understand
sometimes.
his situation because he's a
You
cop.
mean that, like you should respect me because I'm trying to do my duty and it is my duty and I do love you. You're my friend. You mean that? And still, I'm
Yes,
not going to break up with you. I will be with you. Who knows? Maybe like after that, he said, I'm a policeman and he's a criminal. I can't befriend a criminal. This is my job. You see, maybe it's still. I know that you're trying your best to find a way out, But anyway, so now let's continue. What is the major conflict here? Do you think, was it easy for Jimmy to take that decision to put his friend in prison? Was it easy?
No, it was
No,
not easy.
it's
Not
not
at all,
easy.
because he will never see, like Bob will hate him for making him go to prison, and that will make him not see Bob ever again.
Yes, very good, Mustafa. But just here we have something called internal conflict. Like, I'd like to do something today. I'd like you to, focus on it. What's every single story you read must have something. What is it? For sure, characters and setting and so on. Forget about that. But what else? The most important point in any story. What is it?
What do we learn?
Conflict or a problem?
Conflict. Excellent. Excellent. Problem. Very good. Very good, guys. Amazing. MashaAllah, you're really amazing.
What is it?
Conflict or a problem. In every single movie you watch, you have to have a problem. Whenever you watch a movie, have you ever thought of a movie that didn't have a problem? It didn't have an issue?
No,
or a
every
conflict?
movie should have a problem, a
Yeah,
solution.
think about it.
These are the basics.
Yeah, you see, yeah, excellent. Every single story you read, you should look for, what's the problem? Like, what is the conflict? What is the conflict? What is the problem? Like, now I'd like to think about any movie. Even in any movie, you're going to have the problem. The solution, it could be, present in the movie. Like, like maybe at the end, they solve this problem. Mostly speaking, people love happy endings, or not. Some people like to keep the problem on, like they keep speaking about it, but it wasn't, or it will not be solved during the movie or within the story. You see, so I'd like you to know something. In general, we have two kinds of conflicts. We have something called external conflict and internal conflicts. Do you have any idea about it?
No.
No.
No, you've never studied
Yes,
before?
Actually, no. But teacher, I have something.
yes, I know about it.
Yeah,
I
okay,
know
Hani, what do you know?
internal conflict.
Yes, I'm
Teacher,
saying.
but I have something to say.
So could you please mute yourself, everyone, right now? I'd like you to mute yourself. Like, yeah. So here we have this one. I'm going to explain it quickly. Like, let's say external conflict. And here it should be capitalized. Remember, titles should be capitalized. And internal conflict. Like, conflict means a problem. In case you don't know, conflict means a problem. So when I say external conflict, I mean like somehow a problem between one of the characters and another character. Like
Internal conflict.
Yeah, like this one, character with an
inside a character.
Excellent. Not like inside their mind. So external conflict, yeah. So when it happens, when one or two, like one of the characters, one of the characters or two of the characters, have
a problem with another character.
Excellent. Have a clash.
Other character.
Yeah, a clash or a problem. Okay, a problem with another character, or not only, it doesn't have to be another character. It could be even with nature. Do you remember? Or nature, or any external nature, or any external force, like, or any external force, like, anything. It doesn't have to be another person. Mostly speaking, it's people, but not necessarily. The internal conflict, actually, this is the one that we have here in our story. Why? Like, I'm telling you, internal conflict, it's internal, inside your mind. You would like to have a decision, you would like to make a choice, but you don't know which one. Let me tell you. Let's say that your friend told you, now let's go out tonight. And you know that this friend, your friend, was having like coronavirus, and in that time you're not sure that if she's 100% negative or not. Would you go or not?
Actually, to be safe. No.
Yeah. So imagine that
I won't go.
you want to go, but just let's say that she told you that I'm okay now and I'm negative, or he told you that I'm okay now, I'm negative. But
I will still stay in my home to be safe.
Yeah, but would it take you some time to take such a decision?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd say that, should I go? Yeah, she's my best friend, and I'd like to go with her, and this place was extremely nice, and this restaurant was amazing, and they have
I am gonna be embarrassed to tell my best friend no.
Yeah, but just the point is, what I'd like you to do, to know that here you have a choice that you find hard to make. Like, you'd like to take a decision, but you can't make up your mind. We call it internal conflict. So internal conflict means what? When a character finds it's hard to take a decision. We call it internal conflict. Like, here we have Jimmy in this story, my best friend, my job. Should I change? Should I choose my best friend or my job? My best friend or my job? So here we have this kind. So when it is hard, like, you can say when one character finds it's hard to take a decision. You know, character. Oh, every time I forgot this A. So character, one side, like you feel like
فاهمه كلمه واحده بتقولها؟
yes, yeah, this again, yeah, character. So when one character finds it hard to take a decision, like they don't know which decision to make, like should I go, should I stay? Yeah, I think a lot of people,
عايزه اقول
especially yeah, a lot of people find this conflict all the time. Like should we travel to our countries? Should we stay here? Should we change my job? Should I change my place? Should I move out? Should I change my children's school? Like this kind of conflict is internal. Why? You don't have a clash with anyone. Actually, your ideas, like you have a clash within your mind. Like the same here applies to Jimmy or Bob, the policeman or the criminal. I mean, like the policeman, Jimmy. The policeman. Why? Because he is the one. He was the one to take this decision. Should I, ask my friend to be arrested or not? This is one point. The second point I'd like you to focus on is this one: characterization. Like I'm going to use a PDF. I think the video will be much better.
More time.
Yeah, just no. We're just going to finish now, inshallah. So never mind. So here we have this one: characterization. Now I will upload this one and I will prepare a quiz. It won't be that long. It could be only 15 questions at max, and I'd like you all to try it.
Excuse me, the quiz result for the last quiz, where can I see it?
You mean the previous quiz?
Yes.
I can send you another link, no problem, never mind. So now I need someone to read this one. I know that we have very short time now. I just need someone to read this one. I think it would be yes. MashaAllah, 6 participants. So
can I read?
Asir. Okay, Mustafa. So Asir start reading. I need 4 to read. So Asir start reading because like you didn't participate a lot today.
Can I read after Asir?
After Asir? Asir or Asir? Asir. Sorry, Asir. Yeah. So now we start. You can read explicit or direct characterization is the same as explicit characterization. This word is really good. I'd like you to know it. Explicit means
direct characterization when the writer explains the character, but indirect when we understand about the character, about their action, speech, and dialogue.
Excellent. You see here, direct characterization, the writer is like straightforward. Like I tell you, for example, Maryam is smart. It's okay. Like Maryam is smart. This is direct. I didn't let you even think. So I didn't even let you think. If I said Muhammad Hamdi is creative, he has different ideas. Again, I didn't let you think. I told you he's creative. I told you she's smart. I was straightforward. If I told you, for example, Hiba is sneaky and like a snake, or like she's a mean girl. She's mean. Again, I told you that she was mean. I'm direct. That's why they call it direct characterization. I told you like this characters is like in this story, for example, like when he started to describe the policeman, like simply he described them as strong, as important, as good looking, as watchful. You see, he was extremely direct or not? He was direct, right? So we call this one direct characterization. On the other side, in direct characterization, the writer was not straightforward. Like, he would like you to think, to make your decision concerning this character. He tells you, like he describes this is a character in an indirect way, indirectly. Like what? For example, I can say, oh, look at him. He answered all the questions correctly. What does it mean?
It means that he's smart.
He's smart.
Yeah. Did he tell us that he was smart? No.
Miss, and also when he described the waiting man, he was wearing jewelry snake.
Excellent.
Have a watch of covered with jewelry.
Excellent. Yeah, very good. When he described, very good, honey. When he described him, he said that he was wearing a large jewel on his necktie. So when you imagine this man, wearing a large jewel, and again he had a fine watch with small jewels in it. Not everyone, is able to afford such kind of luxurious accessories, except rich people. So it means like, yes, very good. Like he described them as wealthy. He didn't tell us that, yeah, he was wealthy, he was rich, he did it. Yeah, because this writer is smart. He was really smart. Yes. So I will give you another example. Let's say that if I describe, for example, let's say any name. Let's say, for example, Ala was rude. This is direct or indirect?
Very direct.
Direct.
What means rude?
But if rude,
What is the
means
meaning of rude, teacher?
Yeah, impolite.
Rude.
Rude. R-U-D-E. Rude means impolite. He was rude. Impolite. You see? So what if I told you like Ala, kicked the door with his leg, and then he dashed into the room without even saying hi? What does it mean?
A rude.
Yeah, you imagine someone, instead of knocking the door, he kicked it with his leg, and then he entered the room without even saying hi. So it means that he was impolite. He didn't care about people's other people. So here, like this example, I need someone to read it. So Selma, start reading it. Selma and Mustafa. Selma, I'd like to read that part, and Mustafa, I'd like to read it. Just read it. This one.
Teacher, can I read?
Yes, honey, you will read. Yes. So Selma, and here Mustafa. So Selma, start.
Okay, miss. Explicit characterization is a method of describing the character in a straightforward manner through their physical description, i.e., blue eyes, their line of work, i.e., lawyer, and their passions, an avid.
Yes, very good. An avid reader. Very good, honey. So, like, you can describe someone physically, like she has blue eyes. Okay. And even he did that, like what? Like here, when he told about the waiting man, he said that he had a square, colorless square face, bright eyes, and a white mark near his right arm, right eye, right? Yes, like he, where is it? Yes, where is it? Yes, this one. This is direct. Like now, but I don't know what does he mean by colorless. I mean, like he couldn't because it was dark, so he couldn't know whether he was like white or brownish or dark or so on. But just bright eyes. But how could he see anyway? A little white mark near his right eye. This is direct.
Teacher,
This is
he
direct.
saw his bright eyes.
Yeah. I know.
White
I just
mark.
like to see, why did he say colorless? Colorless square face. What does he mean by colorless?
Not too.
Not
Not
means
too.
he's not white. He's not.
Yeah, means that maybe he's not
dark
dark.
white.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, it could be maybe he was white. Because colorless, like usually speaking, when describe someone as colored, it means this person was dark.
But they say colorless on the people who are not like their skin is not white skin.
Yes, colorless. Okay, so I will just check this one to know exactly why he's described them as colorless. Okay, so here this is direct, but on the other side, he had a large jewel. This one is indirect. So good writers are able to use both. Now I said Mustafa or whom?
Yes.
Mustafa, I'd like to read this one. Yes. Mustafa, start.
Indirect characterization describes a character through their thoughts, actions, speech, and dialogue. Jeff walked up to Mark and took his sandwich off his plate. He took a bite,
smirked
at Mark and then walked away.
Yeah.
What does it mean of smirked?
Do you know when you look at someone and you have this kind of negative, negative facial expression? Smirk. Smirk? When you look at someone as if you were angry with him?
Yes.
Yeah, smirked. He took a bite, like imagine, he took his sandwich off, he smirked at Mark, like, looked at him in an angry way, and then he walked away. What does it tell us about Jeff?
What?
What does this tell us about Jeff? He's a good person or a bad person?
Not good person.
Yeah, not good. Imagine like someone like taking a bite of his sandwich, looking angrily at other people, and then leaving. Like even without saying hi, without being polite, without talking in a nice way, for sure it is not that good. Yes, so now here we have another characters here. We have another point here. We have...
Thank you, teacher.
Never mind, honey. So Jane was a beautiful girl. This is direct or indirect? She was beautiful. Direct or indirect?
Direct.
She had golden hair, blue eyes. You see? What about this one? Jane. When Jane walked in the room, nobody could help but look at her stunning, gorgeous like face. Direct or indirect?
Indirect.
I still don't understand. Like here, indirect characterization means this stuff. What does this have to do with indirect characterization?
This one? You mean this example?
Yes.
Yeah. So imagine if I tell you, for example, when that girl entered the room, do I describe her? Like now, do I describe her? No? And then I said, nobody in the room did anything except looking at her. What does it mean? When she entered,
this is indirect characterization.
Yeah, this is indirect. Yeah. So it means that she was special to the degree that everybody else did nothing except looking at her. So was extremely pretty to that degree. So writers sometimes do not like to be straightforward. They would like you to think Like, what does it mean if you, like, imagine if you went to a place, let's say, for example, if one of the president or one of the kings entered a place, what people would do?
I will look at him.
Yeah, it means what? It means this person is what? Either extremely special, like, prestigious.
Yeah, he has skill.
I
He
would
speaks.
just stare at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to say that he was prestigious. Like, no, just, so some writers would like us to think. And this is the only good writers are able to use indirect characterization. Why? Because they give us the ability to use our imagination and think about such character. Okay, so now we have, yes. Yes, Ham, you have a
And
question?
and even make the story more interesting.
Excellent. Yeah. Like, what's, like, I can never tell you, like, she's really pretty, and like this man is really, like, playful, so you will know everything. So for children, for example, most descriptions are clear and simple and direct. But for, like, when you read, for example, like Bride and Prejudice, or you read Heart of Darkness, you have to be smart reader. You have to read between the lines. What does the writer would like me to know, even without saying it between the lines. And this is a very good skill I'd like you to master, which is inference. How could you read between the lines? How could you be able to read something which is not already written, but you're able to reach it? This is a very good skill. So now, because,
Even
yes,
even in the exams, and he is telling you that someone was upset with this place. No, no, no. Like, and even in the exams, they don't show us the answer,
yeah, sure.
but and even it's not in between the lines.
No, no, no,
We
no, no. Like,
think
just, no. I want to speak about professional exams now. Yeah, they don't write the answers true. Like, the answer is inferred. You have to understand it yourself. You have
the
to use your
meaning.
mind. Yeah, yeah. You have to read between the lines. But just, it is not written directly. Sometimes, like, when it comes to reading exams, you have like some kind of questions. Number one, you have word in context. Like, you ask you what does this word mean in context. You have detailed question. You have a question which are already stated in the passage, and you have inferred question are supposed to be the hardest. Why? Because, like, they examine your ability to understand between the line. You see, like, it is not mentioned in the message. It's you, the one who should, like, decide which one is correct. But if for sure you have some clues, it is not this kind of chaotic or messy. I can never ask you about something which is not mentioned even indirectly. It could be mentioned indirectly, like indirect characterization. So it's really good for you to master this kind of skill. And it's really good for you every time you watch a movie. Okay, what's the problem? You can see, okay, what's the problem that this movie is about to handle, or what's the problem in this story, that the conflict that this story is about to put an end to. And also, I'd like you to learn something about O. Henry, because this is, like, we still have about less than 5 minutes. You see, O. Henry, like, when we read the last leaf, we had the hearts and hands, and we had this one. After 20 years, like, the three stories share what? You share what? The three stories. Like, what are the similarities between the three stories? Hmm? Anyone?
What are the three?
Miss,
What
the
are the
twist
three
happened at
stories?
the end. The twist happened at the end.
Excellent. The twist, the ironic ending. Excellent. The ironic ending. Excellent. The three of them, the climax was at the end. The climax, the most important point of interest, was at the end. Number one. Number two, the end was a twist, ironic twist. Why? The end was never expected. And the last leave, we never expected John C. Herman to die. We expect John C. to die. In the last leave, in Hearts and Hands, we never expected that the Marshal was like Mr. Easton, and Mr. Easton was the Marshal. We didn't expect that. We didn't see
Who's
that coming.
Mr. Easton?
Easton, Easton was like, you didn't attend the class last time.
I never. It's my first time.
Sorry. Like, now, like, it was our last class. Like, last time we spoke about a different story. That's why Mr. Easton was another man in the different story. But it's really, really good. You can just read such stories. They're really good. And so all of them end with an ironic ending. So as a piece of advice, if you have any exam, and usually speaking, any essay written, or any article or any story written by O. Henry, know that the ending will not be expected. Remember that, mostly speaking, the ending is not going to be expected. Like, he keeps putting you in a situation which you are obliged to think about something, and then he gives you the twisting end. What else? Like, the three of them are ironic. And do we have any symbolism here?
What?
Do we have any symbols here?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Symbols, symbols, it means
Get
like
symbols. What?
symbols. No, I don't think we have a little, like it's some kind of symbolism here, but we have irony, we have the twisting end, and
No.
yeah, the three, yeah. Just the first two stories have symbolism, but this one doesn't have this. It doesn't have this kind of symbolism. Okay, so before we end, because we have just 2 minutes, for next time, do you have any question before we speak about next time? Yes.
Is there a quiz?
No.
Yes.
No, no,
The
thanks.
quiz, the quiz is optional. You see, my lovely, lovely students.
Yes,
Like
I want to say
the
something.
quiz is optional. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, one of you took it about up to 7 times. I know, like some of you took it only one time. Some because like they were sincere. Like for example, Ahmed, he took it one time. Mariam, she took it one time. I have the statistics, by the way. I have the statistics, and so I just like to take the quiz. It's optional. It is not meant to evaluate you. The point here just to deepen your understanding of direct and indirect characterization of the story. Okay. In case, who knows, maybe you're going to take this one later in the future. Okay. Now concerning next time, yes.
Okay, complete.
Yes. So you would like to ask a question before I continue?
When you finish.
Okay, honey. Okay, so concerning next time, we're not going to have a story. Next time, we're going to have speaking and grammar. So concerning speaking, would you prefer to have a question that you have never seen before, or to prepare each one of you to prepare a presentation about him, her, or herself?
A presentation.
Each one prepare a presentation on herself.
So if you like to prepare that presentation with PowerPoint and introduce yourself, no problem. If you like to use your camera and if you like to use your camera and introduce yourself while speaking, no problem. If you don't like to prepare a PowerPoint and you like to present yourself without doing both, no problem. Either no problem. But the point is, the point is, you believe me, you should prepare your own presentation. Otherwise, it won't be useful for you. What we're going to do, I'd like each one of you to present for a maximum 4 minutes. Each one of you, maximum, like from 3 to 4 minutes only. From 2 to 4 minutes. Yes.
Teacher, will we share our presentation in the period, or we will share it on WhatsApp?
You can send it to me via WhatsApp. You can send it to me before the class. Our class, inshallah, will be on Saturday at 8, I think 8 o'clock. Mecca time. 8 o'clock Mecca time. You see? And not Saturday, sorry, Sunday, not Saturday. Okay. You will have today and tomorrow and after tomorrow.
About myself or about grammar?
No, about yourself. Like speak. I am like, you know what my plan is. After you finish speaking, all of you.
As a paragraph, we will make as a paragraph.
No, as a presentation. Present yourself. Imagine someone asked you to introduce yourself. Yes, this is easy. This is grade 1 presentation, but I'd like to feel it is not grade 1. I feel I'd like to